Have you noticed? You're actually wearing socks right now. Isn't it tight? Like there's a sock monster in there or something. What about your left knee? Is it doing okay? Just try to think about it. Well, I'm sure it's now the start of the show, since you're probably feeling it like never before. But I bet you didn't have any of these thoughts. Rather, who's this? Do I know him? Or what is he talking about? Well, anyway, you see, our mind has this interesting feature of focusing just on some specific things in a given moment. So would you like to know how by mindfully managing our focus, we can achieve our goals? Hi, today I'm going to talk about visualization and how it can be effectively utilized in order to achieve your desired success. In simple words, visualization is the practice of imagining what you want to achieve in the future. For those of you who are thinking, what is he talking about? Or is it another fairy tale that has nothing to do with how things are achieved? Well, I will say that this is a very superficial understanding of things, and I now will show you that it's quite the opposite. For instance, research has shown that visualization can deeply influence our physical performance. So much that many athletes use this technique in order to enhance their skills, reaction times, and even confidence. A study by Guillot and Collet in 2010 found that mental imagery activates the same neural pathways in the brain as actual physical practice. So when athletes vividly imagine their movements, they're essentially training their bodies and minds. There's also another study done in the 90s at a University of Chicago where they took just normal people, not athletes. They divided them into 3 groups, A, B, and C. They put them on a basketball court and asked them just to do free throws. So they rated how well they did, and then they told Group A to practice those free throws for 30 days, 1 hour a day. Then they told Group B to do nothing. After that, they told Group C to practice as well, but not physically, mentally, spending an hour a day just seeing and feeling what it's like to shoot those successful free throws. So 30 days later, they put them back on the court. Group A improved 24% as a result of practice. Now Group B didn't improve at all, since they didn't do anything. However, Group C literally blew their mind, because they improved 23%, just 1% less than those who actually went out on the court and did the physical activity. Isn't it mind-blowing? Well, to me it isn't anymore, since I used this practice too, even before I started going to the gym. In fact, I was 13 years old when I felt that urge to do something about my body that I wasn't really proud of at that time. And my muscles were no joke. I couldn't even lift a backpack. If there was a strong breeze, I'd probably need an anchor, otherwise I would be blown away. So first, I started visualizing myself going to the gym. Because the gyms wouldn't let someone of my age train there, especially at that time, you had to be at least 16 or 18. And my parents were not happy at all with this idea of me wanting to go to the gym and lifting weights, because they said that it's really unhealthy for me. So I started searching for evidence confirming my parents' beliefs, but I didn't find any. But my parents were not convinced. So I kept visualizing, and one day my mom told me, well, if you want it so bad, you can look up their numbers on the internet, call them, and see what they will say. That's what I did. And luckily, there were 2 gyms out of a dozen who said that it's possible, but it depends on my body's morphology. My parents were still not convinced. But I kept visualizing, and a few days later, I made a new older friend who told me that there were boys under 13 who were training at the same gym as him. This is when she finally said to me, all right, you can go there and try it out. So I finally started going to a gym, and I must have visualized so well that I even manifested a coach who treated me as if he was my personal coach. I'm still grateful to him to this day, and I must say that right now I'm satisfied with my body and way more confident than I was back then. But visualization doesn't only benefit our performance in sports, it can also play a crucial role in managing stress and improving emotional resilience. Research published in Psychoneuroendocrinology revealed that guided imagery exercises can lower cortisol levels, which helps reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. Which, let's be honest, is amazing, since some of us get stressed just by trying to spell the word psychoneuroendocrinology. Visualization can also sharpen our cognitive abilities and develop our brain. Neuroscience found that when individuals imagine playing an instrument, their brains show similar activity as when they actually practice. This suggests that our mind has the power to change our brain structure, improving our abilities even before we physically act. Students who use visualization techniques while studying tend to remember information more effectively. Visualization can also influence the people around us. It can shape the way we lead others, motivate teams, and even improve our relationships. Research has found that visualization activates the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for planning, motivation, and decision-making. So when leaders mentally rehearse a positive outcome or envision the success of their team before important meetings, they boost their own confidence and are better equipped to motivate others. So if you've ever visualized yourself leading a group project and everyone actually does their part, well, look at you. Congratulations. You're basically a neuroscientist now, and a dreamer. Visualization can also drive societal change. For instance, Albert Bandura's concept of collective efficacy explains that when people believe they can make a change, they are more likely to take action. Now we saw that visualization can influence our personal growth, the people around us, and even drive global societal change. But this isn't just a magic trick, right? So you might as well ask, how does this really work? And this is the most interesting part. Remember I asked you about your left knee? You probably didn't really understand what I was trying to say at that time. The focus. At any given moment, you are being bombarded with millions of bits of information from all 5 of your senses. Your brain doesn't let in all the data at equal value, otherwise it would literally explode. In fact, it has a system in it, the reticular activating system, a network of neurons at the back of your brain. So what is its job? Well, it is responsible for several functions like sensation, attention, consciousness, the sleep-wake cycle, and so on. But it also plays the role of our brain's guard, or our brain's secretary, if you will, that protects us from sensory overload, filters the information that goes into our awareness, and blocks other data. It's a filter system. Your reticular system protects you by letting in only the information that you already agree with, that you think is important to you, or that confirms your beliefs. So basically your reticular system is just like that one friend that only listens to the advice that he already agrees with. So you can be like, well, maybe don't text your ex at 2 a.m. And he's gonna be like, exactly, I'll text her twice. Wait, I'm gonna FaceTime her. For example, have you ever wanted a pair of sneakers? And just suddenly out of nowhere, you start seeing so many people wearing that one pair of sneakers. Doesn't that sound kind of familiar to you? Or you just learned a new word and suddenly you start hearing it everywhere. It's your reticular system at work. Or if you're convinced that most people are bad or dishonest, your brain is literally going to be looking for evidence confirming that belief all the time. You will most likely have more encounters with those people in your daily life. You'll hear about similar experiences from your friends, and so on. But it is also important to understand that our brain has a built-in negativity bias, which evolved as an adaptive mechanism that played a role in our survival and helped us be more acutely aware of the danger. Today, it causes us to place more focus on negative things and remember negative experiences more accurately than positive ones. This results in us taking action from the place of failure.